Alright, so I got a little secret for you in this week's edition of Loving the Bike TV. You know how we all talk about, as cyclists, the feeling of freedom while we're on the bike, right? And it's not really now, it's from the very first time you got off and rode off on your own. It's been that feeling described as freedom, and exactly that's what it is. And I'm just so thankful that I get to experience that as much as you do. Now, we're not alone. Other sports, things like skydiving, sailing, swimming, so many different things, they talk about the same thing happening. They talk about the feeling of freedom when they do what they do, and that's awesome. I mean, that they're really achieving the same thing we are, just in a different sport. Now, what I'm here to tell you about today is talking about freedom on and off the bike. Now, we get freedom on the bike, that's awesome. But the trick is, and the secret is to get freedom in other parts of your life as well. Now, we live in a society where people are, tapped out completely, keeping up with the Joneses. We're told to buy, and get the newest, latest thing all the time. Perfect example, which I'm totally against in a way, is what Apple does. They bring out a new model of the iPhone like every 6 months, and the iPhone junkies gotta get their new one, and they basically toss the old one. A lot of waste. Anyways, and a lot of living beyond our means. I know that happens a lot, where people basically get a mortgage that's gonna take them, if they don't have the job, they can't afford to pay the bills. And that is the recipe for non-freedom, I'll tell you that right now. It's when you're able to pay cash for things, when you're not totally strapped and in debt up to your eyeballs. Because what happens is you get in debt, and then you go to work to pay off this debt, and all of a sudden now your work is, you're basically handcuffed to your job. And what happens if you don't like your job, or a situation changes and all of a sudden you don't like it anymore, or you want to take off for 6 months or a year and just travel the world? You can't do that any longer because you're paying for your stuff. So the trick is to bring that freedom of cycling into all the other parts of your life. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do that, because there's lots of ways to do it, but you got to find that out for yourself and make things free all over. So let's go for freedom on and off the bike, all right?